We're all on the same page.
Yep, this won't do a split anymore.
Are we going to start right now?
6
Yep,
o'clock.
okay, we'll start at 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a new addition to our agenda this evening. You'll see after the Pledge of Allegiance, we will have a moment of reflection. So we'll start that now. If everybody would take some time to reflect, or you can pray during this time if you so choose. But that's something new that we're going to start today. Thank you. Madam Clerk, can we call the roll, please?
Trustee Todd Lloyd.
Here.
Treasurer Clee.
Present.
Trustee Leverett. Supervisor Miller.
Here.
Trustee Burt.
Present.
Clerk Triplett here. And Trustee McIntyre. Absent.
Alrighty. Do we have any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda? I know we're going to pull action item A. We'll
Action
postpone
A.
that and bring it to our next meeting.
Okay. Ready?
I don't have any other changes. Do we have any corrections to the minutes from May 5th?
I don't see any.
Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from May 5th meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That stands approved. We'll move on to public comment. If you'd like to address the board, you'll have 3 minutes to address the board. You just need to give us your name. We don't need your address. We ask that you address the board.
I'm Linda Neerman, live on Maple Tree Drive. I'm here, which I understand I may not need to be here, but nevertheless, in reference to Resolution 2977 that you passed on June 5, 2023, regarding the sale of the property adjacent to Dyewood. That resolution said that there would be no construction equipment or supplies during any of the construction on any of the Dyewood roads in the subdivision. At the Township Planning Commission meeting that was held last week, when the Planning Commission approved townhomes and/or duplexes, 36 or 38, depending upon who you listen to, they made the remark that framing construction would be allowed through Dyewood. Now, I can understand framing construction for a house that burns or somebody needing a new roof, but I cannot accept on Dyewood roads without any protection framing for over 88 homes, possibly 100, nor the noise or the traffic or the weight that goes through it. Since we have spent all that money on the repair of the roads, the depth was not designed for additional weight. The largest depth on that road was to be school buses and/or the trash. I hope resolutions that the board passes, even though some of the new members are on the board, stay in effect, and someone pays attention to that. I disagree with the proposed Green Meadows layout. There is no reason for the new subdivision to capitalize on our subdivision. I know they said we're old. They might as well have said we're poor, because we're going to be time we repair roads again, if and when anybody survives over 300 vehicles per day driving through the subdivision. We have that potential. I know it's going to take a long time for the subdivision to develop, but nevertheless, there's noise, construction. It is a wetlands area. I realize the developer needs to get his money back for the trees he's cleared, and he wants it fast. Hopefully there will not be additional duplexes, that there would be single-family homes as that was originally designed for.
Thank you, Mrs. Neerman. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? Anyone else? And if no one else wants to speak, we'll move on to reports. I don't have a report this evening except to say, as we move into lawn mowing season, I want to remind people that the most important thing you can do is keep water off your property, and that can happen by keeping the catch basins clear. Now, while it's no one's job who are residents in our township to do that, it behooves us all to go out, if there's a catch basin in front of your house or just a little ways down the road a little bit, to make sure that the catch basin grate is cleared so that the water can run into the catch basin and away from your properties. And I wanted to make sure everyone knows, especially anybody watching by video or if it gets put in the newspaper, Flint Township does not pick up leaves in the street. So we have an ordinance, you cannot put your grass clippings in the street. You're not supposed to, although we see it a lot. You're not supposed to blow your leaves in the street either, nor when it snows, you're not supposed to plow your snow into the street. We have a yard waste pickup from the first Thursday in April till the last Friday in November for yard waste. We have, you can use brown bags, or if you use your own trash bag, you can make your own sticker, or we have stickers here that say yard waste. The garbage company would like to have both sides of the garbage can marked so that if they come one way or another, they know clearly which one of your cans are for yard waste. But yeah, we don't pick them up out of the street. We're going to have our code enforcement start working on giving out notice of violations for anyone who is blowing grass clippings or yard waste in the street if it becomes a habitual problem. But in order for the system to work properly, the catch basins have to be clear. And if you notice that one's not flowing properly, let us know. We can call it in to the road commission or the drain commission, depending on who's responsible for that, to either clear it or make sure it's working properly. That's my report this evening. Madam Clerk, do you have a report?
Yes, so the Attorney General, Dana Nessel has put out an issue advisory that during the post-storm alerts that there can be some scamming that actually takes place. So there are some things that they're asking residents to make sure that you do prior to your cleanup or revitalizing the property. It states to get in touch with your insurance company, speak to a local or licensed professional, review credentials and references, get more than one written estimate and ask for a contract and read it carefully. Also, there is a number that you can contact in case you think you are being scammed or have been scammed, because they do happen sometime during the, once there's storms, you have a lot of companies that may come out and try to get your business. So I will have that out there on the desk, and we'll probably post it online as well. That's it.
So just recently, I had people contacting me by email for a new roof estimate. But anybody who sells, going door to door or like that has to get a permit from your office, right?
That's correct.
Ironically, I have this comment about that. That's
Yeah.
mine.
They go through a background check?
Yes, the
And we
police
can
department.
verify that they're,
That's right. That they are actually legitimate
yes,
businesses. in the-
perfect.
in the
So
community.
I would just want to reiterate to all our residents, if you have someone either like on email, by phone, or door to door, they're supposed to have a permit from the clerk's office. Thank you.
And you can always call and check with us to make sure, if you have someone knocking on your door, if you want to know they are legit, you can always call up here and we can, let you know if they have the permit and the proper credentials to do that.
All righty. Mr. Treasurer, your report for us this evening?
Thank you. No offense, ladies, but you kind of stole a little bit of my thunder. It happens on the weekends, and I had 3 phone calls, and I have my notes to talk about this. On Mother's Day weekend, there was a couple of gentlemen riding these hoverboards, and they were tracking Tandy. They were on the mall. I just lost my train of thought of the name of the street back there behind the mall. Red Barn, and that. They were riding down Lennon Road. They were knocking doors, and I had phone calls. People say, "Hey, Tom, I thought, how do you get these people to come to your house?" I said, "Well, you have to make a call and ask them to come." Well, I've got people banging on my door, and the same gentleman banged on the doors, and he came down our street, and he came up to my house, and I respectfully said, "Hi, young man, can I see your peddler's license?" And he jokingly laughed, "Oh, sure," and he opened up his phone, and he shows me a permit from the state of Michigan for and I won't say the name of the alarm company, not one that a lot of us have in this area. It might have been an orange color. And it said, "Oh, it says the state of Michigan, nothing issued local." I said, "You need a permit in Genesee County, and you need a permit in Flint Township." "Oh, well, I have this." I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, you can't. You can't be peddling door to door. You're going to have to get on your scooter and go to wherever you're supposed to be." "Well, who are you to tell me that?" And I said, "Well, sir, unfortunately, you've knocked on the wrong door because, one, I'm a resident, knows the guidelines, and two, I'm an elected official in the community, and I'm respectfully asking you to cease knocking on these old people's doors, older than myself." And the neighbor lady was standing within earshot and heard me, and she's 20 years older than me, and laughed. But residents, please do not allow peddlers of any kind to be coming to your door unless you invited them, unless you called a roofing and siding company, or you called a asphalt company, something like that. If they knock on your door, Lieutenant Van Lente, if you would please correct me if I'm wrong, but the chief said, "Hey, pick the phone up, call 911. Ask for a car to come, request a car." We have not issued, and I've sat at this table, this is 9.5 years, Barb, you've been here longer than me. When's the last time we set a peddler's license out? The only one is to Old Newsboys, am I correct? Pretty close.
Yes, I would say.
Pretty close. Old Newsboys, the only one that we give the authority to be out peddling or asking and that. So now it's going to become more of a problem because the weather's nice and these guys are out peddling. So please don't hesitate. Call one of us on a weekend. Our cell numbers are all listed. Call one of us if you're don't want to call 911. Every one of us on this table will do it for you if you don't want to call 911 for that person. At least I will. I know these two will. I'm sure the other two will. But they shouldn't be knocking on your door, and it's uncomfortable. They come at this one. It was 6:45 at night when he was banging on the door of these people, and I'm like, okay. My house, it was at 5:30, and I asked him twice, and then I called 911. They came and asked him to leave, and he disappeared. Other than that, we're gonna pay some bills in a minute. But thank you. Sorry, but
So
I
when
was
someone
ranting.
calls 911, they can say it's a non-emergency?
Yes, tell them
They'll
it's
ask what's your
tell them it's not.
emergency?
I'm sorry, non-emergency. I live in Flint Township, and we have a peddler on our street. Could you please send an officer?
Because the only way to have a police officer dispatched to your home is through 911 dispatch, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Treasurer?
Beautiful day out there, sun shining again. Nope.
Alrighty. Do we have any trustee reports?
I have one. We had another community cleanup. 4 of us showed up. And 4. And we got about 4.5 bags of garbage. Mark Showalter came and picked them up, thank you. But then we stopped because it started to rain. It rained pretty hard. It quit, but we were soaked by that time. So the next one is June 7th, the same place, north end of the Sears parking lot, because it is a mess.
June 7th, you say?
Yes, June 7th.
At 8 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
At Sears North parking
Yeah,
lot.
same place, yep.
Alrighty.
By
Get it done.
the auto service building, is that?
All the trees or whatever that is there, the very edge.
I wasn't able to come this time.
Oh, yeah.
I've
So,
got 2 open houses, but they start at
hopefully-
noon. What time are we starting? 8?
8 a.m.
Okay. It's in my calendar.
And also, those gentlemen came to my house, too. Peddlers, so.
Tom sent them.
He just said, we'll move to the next one. I said, well,
Yeah, we'll move to the next, yeah.
Alrighty. Anything else, trustee Burt?
no, that is it. Thank you.
Alrighty, we'll move on to staff reports. Mrs. Tucker?
The ZBA and the Planning Commission both met the week of our last meeting, but it was after the meeting. The Zoning Board of Appeals approved a variance for nitrogen properties for front-loading, which I think it was a unanimous decision. And then the following day, the same ownership group, Nitrogen Properties, had their site plan review approved by the Planning Commission, so they're moving forward. Also, Green Meadow got their special land use approved. and Eli and Joseph Shamas got, for Paradise Market, got their special land use approved as well. So we'll be awaiting the site plan on that. That's on Flushing Road, the old 7-Eleven that's in front of Sunridge. And also, I wanted to thank Chad McCarty, and he had a group of volunteers come, and they did some work at the McCarty Library, where the senior center is. Katie McCarty was his great-grandmother, and so he has this group that gets together every year and does some volunteer work. They came and they spruced up all the beds around the building, they planted flowers, and they repainted the sign, so very nice of them
Which
to
was a
come out and do
surprise
that.
because I think they just talked about doing an update to the sign, which was
Yeah.
sun damaged and it needed the upgrade, but they sent pictures and you noticed that they were,
Yeah, they weeded and put down mulch and
And filled them in
flowers,
this year, which
and
is
they
nice.
paid for all of that themselves as well.
that was very nice.
And that's a temporary sign. Something else is supposed to be coming.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he was talking about actually purchasing a new sign to put there.
Right.
He, as I said, that library was named after his great-grandma, and she was involved in getting that library put there. So he's very proud of that, and he still has business in the area, and he wanted to make sure she's taken care of.
That's great. Anything else?
Nope.
About the EDC meeting tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, we have EDC tomorrow at 4:30. There's one action item on the agenda right now, and that's because they have to do their elections.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you. Lieutenant Van Lente, do you have a
Hello,
report?
Board.
Hello,
How are you?
nice to see your face here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Since the last board meeting, your police department responded to just shy of 1,200 calls for service. That includes about 800 primary calls and 382 backup calls. You do the math, that's about 85 calls every single day for the past 2 weeks. That's in addition to 34 business checks and 27 residence checks. I'll just touch on a couple calls we went on over the past 2 weeks. During the daytime hours of May 6th, we responded to reports of shots fired and a window being shot out on I-69 near Bristol Road. We worked to develop a suspect vehicle, and with the use of our flock license plate reader cameras, located that vehicle a short time later. A juvenile passenger in that vehicle was arrested with a pellet gun and admitted to shooting out windows on the highway. Unfortunately, the juvenile detention center refused to lodge on his charges, and he had to go home with mom. The investigator is quite chagrined by that, charged him as an adult, and he's now facing multiple felonies as an adult.
Wow. How old was he?
I believe 16 or 17. Yeah, and the legal age of an adult in Michigan is now 18, so he might be a juvenile by age, but not by actions.
Exactly.
Most of you saw the crash on the 7th and I-75 where the tractor-trailer hit the median embankment. Motorist fell asleep and woke up as he veered into the tractor-trailer, which then pushed it into the guardrail. So that's how that crash happened. You may have saw the Homeboy Barbecue in Clayton Township was on fire. That was an arson committed by a Flint Township juvenile. Your police department located him later that night at a restaurant, just enjoying his evening. So he's picked up that night by your police department and turned back over to Clayton Township for charges there. On the evening of the 9th, a 51-year-old man was walking down the 4,000 block of West Court Street, which is down by West Court Ranches. At the same time, a 40-year-old man was driving his motorcycle eastbound on Court and struck that man on the roadway. And unfortunately, both individuals were killed as a result of that crash. Thankfully, MSP came out and helped us with that crash investigation. And then lastly, this is pretty recent. I say early morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning on the 18th. Some of you may be aware of the business called the Bedrock Lounge on Flushing Road, kind of by the old Bowery College. It's a Flint City address. We got called there for reports of over 100 shots being fired. There was an after-hours party at that particular we'll call it a business. Multiple cars were fleeing. There were multiple crashes, including a suspect who was hit by a vehicle. Fortunately, no shooting victim showed up at the hospital. However, while we were policing one crash, an intoxicated driver struck one of our patrol vehicles. Luckily, it was unoccupied. That suspect was arrested for drinking and driving and also lodged on his felony gun warrant. So we'll be working with the Flint City to work on that, because while it is a Flint City business, it affects our township. So I do have, in addition, 11 felony arrests and 2 recovered stolen vehicles in the last 2 weeks, and it's not even summer yet. So it's sticking up. And I do have one action item in a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to have to ask if people in the audience can refrain from speaking while others are speaking. It's hard to pay attention to both. Well, not that we should be paying attention, but anyway. Thank you for that, and you have one action item on the agenda?
I do, thank you.
All righty. Assistant Chief Gallo?
Yes, ma'am. I've got a brief report for you. Since the last meeting, fire departments responded to 51 alarms, including 9 structure fires and 2 vehicle fires. Of the 9 structure fires, 2 of them were mutual aid, 2 other municipalities. We also assisted Michigan State Police with the Homeboy Barbecue fire investigation. And also Saturday, we celebrated the graduation of our Fire Academy students. So now they are fully certified firefighters. So,
Did I see 9?
7.
7 graduates. Wonderful. They look young.
They are. So.
Great, that's good news. All righty. And action item C, that's not exactly you're not gonna speak on that, are you?
No,
I
ma'am.
think so, okay. So, I don't think there's any committee reports. No, we're all set there. We're at number 8. Mr. Treasurer?
Good evening, thank you again. We have a resolution here, as most of you would have seen, the bills that we are paying this week in regards to all of the invoices that have come across. I have a resolution here and a motion to approve the payments of those invoices in the amount of $29,365.14. In addition, we're also going to acknowledge the payment of invoices and tax distributions in the amount of $1,700,499.02 as authorized by the Board Purchasing Policy. And that's my motion. I'd like to speak on it if I may.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Go right ahead, Mr. Treasurer.
Thank you. Again, $1 million, $1.7 million that we're writing a check for, but that is going to Genesee County. It's their portion of the monies that we have collected here in the township from all of us, and we have to disperse that, and it's a pass-through. It's not just coming out of our budget. It's in one ear and out the other, as we state about that.
Any other discussion? Any further questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, for the motion to pay the bills in the amount of $29,365.14.
Trustee Todd Lloyd,
Yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes.
Trustee Burt,
No.
Clerk Triplett, yes, and Treasurer Clee.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any correspondence or informational items?
None tonight, no.
You did, however, was that something from you, Manya? What was it?
Oh.
It was a little flyer talking about a one-time fee for year-round access at MTA.
at
Did you
MTA.
print that out? Put it in our baskets? Someone did.
Oh, I did, yes.
Okay.
So that you guys can further your education and receive more knowledge. I did print off a copy from the MTA, and because the township do have a membership, you are able to access any classes and learning from that portal or from the MTA. So if you log on, set up an account, you'll be able to access it and review, any kind of educational tools that'll help you to be able to do your job more efficiently.
How deep does that go as far as is that just the 7 of us, or does that reflect on all of our, I think it reflects to all of us.
I know that the planning commissioners and zoning board
board
members
get
can
to.
take classes.
Okay.
Because it's to help educate you on what we're bringing
We're
forth to
bringing
the
forth-
community.
That's what I thought, yep.
Assessing,
Assessing.
what is that, board of review?
Board
Because
review.
The law now requires any board of review member to be certified, so they have to take training, so
I'll take that to the ZBA and let them know, and if you, maybe you can talk to planning, and
Yeah, we haven't done much through MTA. We usually do ours through MAP. And Row Engineering does a lot of stuff with American Planners Association, APA. So whenever we get those, we forward those to them if they want. I'll look into the MTA and see if there's anything there that might interest
Be
them.
of
I can
support.
forward that to them.
Alrighty, we're on to new business. Action item A will be postponed. We're on to action item B. Did you want to speak on that,
I do.
Lieutenant Van Lente?
Your police department currently has a total of 34 police officers on staff of today's date. In the 2025 budget, the Township Board approved a total of 37 positions. So we have several vacancies. The Flint Township Civil Service Commission has provided the name of Danielle Brandt. Subsequently, she was presented with a conditional offer of employment based on a list of contingencies. And we're pleased to recommend the hire to Ms. Brandt to fill this open position. She successfully completed a physical examination, drug test, psychological examination, and an extensive pre-employment background investigation. She graduated from Fenton High School and graduated from Wayne State University with a bachelor's degree in mortuary science. And she most recently worked with Preferred Removal Service as a medical examiner, where she's worked quite a few calls with our police officers. We have secured 2 grants, one through the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards and a second through Michigan Works. Combined, those 2 grants will cover her entire academy cost, her uniforms, wages, and benefits while she attends the police academy. So she will come close to almost no cost to the township while she's being trained. With your approval, we would like to hire Ms. Brandt effective June 12th, 2025, which will be the first day of the Oakland Police Academy in Auburn Hills, with a scheduled graduation in October of 2025. And then this position is budgeted in the 2025 Police Department budget.
Great. A motion would be in order to move forward with the recommendation.
we would move the acceptance of Lieutenant Van Lente's proposal this evening, or recommendation that we hire, I'm looking for a name again, I didn't want to misspell it. Yes, Danielle Brandt, effective June 12, 2025. Well, she'll start the Oakland Police Academy at Oakland Community College in Auburn Hills with the hopeful understanding of graduation in October.
Second it.
Great. Any questions for Lieutenant Van Lente?
Matt, Lieutenant, thank you for always, you're the one that presents these and brings these, and I know you do a lot of work on it. Thanks.
Sure.
You and I've sat with you a lot, listened to you, and it's appreciated, the hard work you put in.
How long is that process? The physical, the drug test, and psychological?
If we need to hurry it, it can be done in about a month. If we have time, 2-3 months. But if we need to push it, it depends on their background. If it's somebody who's older, has a lot more life experience, the background takes longer. She's local, so there's no long traveling. Background references are pretty easy to find. But
Okay.
that's the hardest part, is the background.
Did he just insinuate that?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion or no further questions, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the motion to hire Danielle Brandt effective June 12th, 2025, where she'll start the Oakland Police Academy at Oakland Community College in Auburn Hills.
Trustee Burt
Yes.
and Trustee Todd Lloyd,
Yes.
Clerk Triplett, yes. Supervisor Miller
Yes.
and Treasurer Clee.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All set, thanks.
Thank you, Board.
Action item C, we have before us the IAFF contract TA. We have a negotiating team that negotiates for the township. That would be Treasurer Clee, myself, and Controller Kevin McIntyre, and the township's represented by, in this case, Attorney Lizzie Mills. And this TA was ratified by the IAF union recently, and so now it's up to us. So if we want to move forward, a motion would be in order to do so.
Clee would, Clee would move to accept the approval of the IAF Local 1425 tentative agreement and ratify this agreement dated January 1, 2025 through December 31, 2027.
Is there a second to the motion? I'll second it. Do we have any questions or discussion? This way, no?
work.
Trustee Todd Lloyd, do you have any questions or discussion?
No.
Okay, this way? I know, Tom, you don't have any, you were there.
I was there
Madam Clerk?
for a lot of time, a lot of minutes.
So there's some pretty significant changes in this agreement, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and I think it's probably the best package that we've settled on or will settle on with firefighters, but they've also, they've gained stuff, but there's some good changes. So yeah, this is a good package. If there's no further questions or discussion, no? We'll take the roll call vote on the motion to ratify the TA with IAFF.
Clerk Triplett, yes. Trustee Burt.
Yes.
Treasurer Clee.
Yes.
Trustee Lloyd. Todd
Yes.
Lloyd.
Oh,
And
yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes.
Thank you.
So that's approved. We'll move on to action item D. Madam Clerk. You want
So.
to talk on it, Tracy?
It doesn't matter to me. I wasn't prepared, but this,
So this is just the bid packet to get proposals from different companies for the audio and video system for this room. We know it needs updates. The equipment we have now is no longer being serviceable, so we're looking to see what we can get. We left it intentionally vague in some spots so that they can make their best presentation to us. Basically, what'll happen is we send this out, they'll come back with a bid, quote, whatever. Then we can have them come in and actually give a presentation of what they're saying it can do. So this is not, we're not spending any dollars on this other than
committing.
what it is to publish it, if we want to publish it, and to mail it out. So right now, that's all we're doing.
Alrighty?
so this is just for us to allow the proposals to come in.
Okay, great. I want to make a
Just
motion.
want to make sure the.
I'll move that we accept the resolution and the motion to move forward and request proposals to be presented to the township for review and possible execution for video and sound systems for this auditorium.
So the deadline is June 4th at,
We can make that whatever you
Later if
want.
you'd
I think the June 4th
June
was
23.
for them to come in.
walk through.
I'd make
Yeah,
myself
that was the
available,
walkthrough.
or somebody would be here to walk them through if they need to do measurements. And then the deadline to get the proposals back
23.
is the 23rd.
I missed that.
Page
Okay.
47, the late time, last time.
Now,
for
we've
them to
already had a couple that have given us quotes, so they probably will not need that June 4th date. But we're hoping to get at least 4 or 5, companies, so that they can show us the different things and what they can do.
Okay.
This is the deadline.
We didn't get a second.
Oh, yes, we need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
We didn't get a second.
Who made the motion, please?
Click.
Alrighty, any questions or discussion?
So they're gonna be coming in on the June 4th, right? Is this what I'm understanding?
Yeah, if they need to
Somebody's-
come in.
Yes, if they
Yes.
need to come in, and have the opportunity to,
To present whatever.
No, June 4th is just for them to come in if they need measurements or they
Yeah.
want to look at the
Okay,
space
that's
so
what I
they
need. So they want-
understand
they gotta do the
dimensionally what
scope.
they need to do.
yes, there you go, the scope, and, yep.
Okay.
And then they have 3 weeks later to get it back to us to review.
By the 23rd, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
For review. All right, I want to be clear. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, I don't think there's any further discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustee Todd Lloyd.
Yes.
Treasurer Clee.
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes.
Trustee Burt.
Yes.
Clerk Triplett, yes. Thank you.
So our next regularly scheduled meeting will be June 3rd. Next Tuesday, we are going to have a staff/board work session that will be here at 4 PM on Tuesday,
27.
May 27th.
Next meeting is June 2nd.
Or this one, hold on, let me check the dates.
June 2nd, I had the wrong date on
Oopsie.
it.
Okay, so let's try that again.
Next meeting.
May 27th will be the work session with the staff and board, and then June 2nd will be our next regularly scheduled meeting. I said 3rd, it's the 2nd.
Did you say 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
We did decide on 4
good for you
o'clock, okay
the
for
work
her?
session?
For the staff.
4 o'clock's good for
You can make
the
the
work
4.
session, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's
Alrighty.
the one to confirm.
And if there's no further business, we'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.